Hey, it's Apple, and today we're gonna be debunking this video. It's titled, Pushing Minecraft Steve to His Theoretical Limits. In this video, he makes a bunch of false claims about creative mode Steve's power scaling, and that he beats a bunch of characters that he just doesn't, so let's just get into it.
I've recently came across a lot of videos like this.
Alright, lore-based Doomslayer versus Creative Steve plus commands. Creative Steve is fodder!
Yes, really. Batman has way better attack potency and speed scaling than anything creative mode Steve has shown.
You may be thinking, oh yeah, Steve is kinda strong, I watched a game theory video, blah blah blah. No, you don't understand how insanely strong Steve is.
So it's very true that the game theory video on Steve's strength is very inaccurate at this point.
So let this be my video PSA on why Steve is incomprehensibly strong. And could also solo fiction. Wait, what?
Not only does he not prove Steve to be incomprehensibly strong, but the claim that he solos fiction is contradicted by himself later in this same video.
We need to find out what the heaviest thing Steve could hold is. And that would have to be the gold block, is what I would say if this was 2018. But no, there's actually a block that's 7 times heavier than gold, and that is netherite. But to find out how much a netherite block weighs, we could actually use a gold block for reference. You see, a gold block weighs about 21.3 tons. And dividing that by 9, we get to see how much each little gold weighs. Multiply that by 4 and we get how much gold is inside netherite. But for the nether scrap, we don't really know what that is. Yeah, we know it comes from ancient debris, which can be found underneath the nether, but we don't really know much more than that. But taking some lowball assumptions, we could assume it's what's popularly theorized. And that theory is basically a bunch of hoglins and whatnot died, and it's just a remain.
So here he uses the Minecraft wiki to attempt to assert that the ancient debris is made up of the bones of dead piglins. But if we actually check the Minecraft wiki and see the source that they used to come to that conclusion, we can see that it says something completely different on there and actually implies the opposite. It says that ancient debris is salvaged from netherite scraps that weren't mined up by the piglins, meaning it's not made from their bones at all, so we can't really make any claims about its weight based on this because it's completely unknown. Oh, the actual weight of a netherite block would be 94.14 tons.
So we could assume that each scrap is at least as heavy as a bone block, and after some rather concerning research, I found that a 1 by 1 meter cube of bone would be 2.2 tons. Why is there a study on this? Putting this all together, we could see that one netherite bar is 19 tons, and then multiply that by 9, and we get the insane weight of 164 tons.
And as I just stated, this number is inaccurate, and in actuality, it's 94.14 tons.
With this insane netherite block, we could fill up an entire shulker box top to bottom with stacks of it. And once we're done filling that up, we could use control pick block, and that copies the shulker box into your inventory with all of this MBT data. And by doing that, we are now carrying 284,000 tons in just one shulker box. Which thanks to this random guy I found on Quora, what we're holding is more than the weight of a skyscraper. Oh, and you think that's impressive, because you could actually grab a chest and fill it up with these shulker boxes, take that chest into your inventory, and you can start filling up another chest with stacks of the previous chest. And you could actually continue doing this process with the pick block technique for a long time, until eventually you reach a depth tag limit of the game, which is doing this 171 times. So after doing that entire process 171 times, you should result in a final chest, which once again you can multiply this through your inventory and also into your offhand to get the max stuffies you could hold. And I actually have no clue how much this is, so I then spent an entire afternoon calculating it all, and I wanted to do it all in one sitting because I thought it'd be cool for this time lapse, but in reality it just gave me extreme brain rot. But here we are.
So obviously I'm not going to redo this math with the adjusted numbers because, well, it took this guy 2.5 hours, but obviously it's going to be significantly less. Especially when you think about the fact that each of these netherite blocks are 70 tons less than he said they were.
Just carry around. But another thing is, the Minecraft Earth is different than our Earth, which means that the gravity that Steve experiences is different than the gravity that we experience. And this could affect that how much he feels is weighing. So I set up this experiment to determine how strong gravity is by determining the sand's rate of acceleration. Now all I gotta do is press this button and... so I don't need to do my own research. Thank you,
This is actually pretty smart and something I probably wouldn't have thought of, so yeah, well done on this. There's a difference between being able to hold the multiverse and being able to hold multiple finite universes. Usually when someone refers to the multiverse, they're referring to the fourth dimensional existence that composes all of the universes, and often an infinite number of them. So for his strength, he would be universal, which would then apply to his attack potency, giving them universal AP. The reason he wouldn't be any higher is because the next tier is high universal, which requires infinite strength or attack potency.
Okay, cool. Now that you're beginning to understand just the stupidity of how strong Steve is, let's head over to speed.
There's a lot of unnecessary speed scaling in this video, so we're just gonna skip to the stuff that actually matters.
Try it again, this time with my cords open. You can see we launch about 10,000 blocks and then we begin slowing down due to the lack of ground underneath us. But by looking at this footage frame by frame, we could actually see a few numbers. So I recorded them down on a graphing calculator, and you can see I actually start slowing down right after the first frame, because by then I've already fully ran outside the blocks rendering around me. Meaning in the 0.01 second I was able to touch ground, I ran 1,003 meters, which is the equivalent of 223,000 miles per hour.
Alright, so Steve can move over 200,000 miles per hour, which equates to massively hypersonic.
That's too slow for you. There's still /TP, which allows you to instantly Goku teleport anywhere you want.
So this is a pretty common misconception, that being that teleportation equates to speed. This is incorrect. The reason is because Steve must do the action of choosing to teleport at the speed that he thinks and functions at, which from what was proven earlier was only massively hypersonic. Meaning anyone significantly faster than massively hypersonic could blitz him before he was able to use the teleport command.
So, what exactly does it mean if you were to travel 93 million meters in just a 20th of a second? Well, on which modern physics is based, nothing in the universe can travel faster than light. Albert
Well, I'll tell you what,
Light speed is the fastest thing in the universe. It is the closest thing to instant. Light speed is so stupidly fast, it's been theorized by achieving even up to a tenth of it. Space and time itself will begin to warp. Yeah, so we achieved 6 times the speed of light. I mean, it's only 4,196,864,312 miles per hour. I don't know.
So obviously the problem here is that the 6 times FTL argument is based on teleportation, not Steve's actual ability to move at a certain speed.
By achieving faster than light speeds, you'll achieve infinite mass, which means you'll then achieve infinite force.
No, this is just blatantly wrong. Going beyond the speed of light does not give you infinite mass. The source he got this from says that it would have infinite mass because it would take infinite energy to get something to move beyond the speed of light. Which is incorrect, because you can go beyond the speed of light and still be going at a finite measurement of speed.
So you may think that Creative Steve is actually invincible, which is mostly true.
No, it isn't. Anyone with higher dimensional attack potency or anyone with death hacks can kill him easily. This is because there is an inaccessible gap between lower and higher dimensional beings to the point that even something that is considered infinite durability on one dimensional scale would be nothing compared to the higher dimensional being. That's not to say that Creative Steve has infinite durability. Just because he has been unable to be harmed by anything within his verse, that doesn't mean that he has infinite durability. That's a textbook no limits fallacy. As for death hacks, you can be killed by /kill, as well as the fact that being banned from servers shows that he's affected by some forms of battlefield removal.
If you made it this far and you still aren't convinced that Steve could destroy 99.99% of fiction, I'm just going to speedrun a few more insane things Steve could do.
Alright, well, I'm definitely not convinced, so let's hear it.
With the test strength, I recoded the Warden's HP from 500 to this number, which is 10 to the 305th power times 5 of the Inner Dragon's HP. And with just strength alone, Steve could literally one-shot this with his fist.
This just displays more proof of finite universal AP, which I've already agreed to.
Oh, and just for the fun of it, let's turn this infinitely strong hit using attribute into this, which it may not look like much, but I'm actually hitting an infinite amount of times every second.
I feel like you have to be being dishonest on purpose at this point. You quite literally showed that the value of strength you gave him was a finite number. The same applies to the speed, so no, he does not have infinite strength, nor infinite combat speed.
Oh, and with the execute command, you can actually go between dimensions, making Steve interdimensional, or multiversal by just joining other worlds.
Bro, are you serious? The ability to travel between dimensions doesn't make you multiversal, but all agrees interdimensional in the sense that he can travel between dimensions, but again, that does not make him multiversal. For instance, if I was able to travel from my house to my school, would I be building level because I can travel between multiple buildings? No, obviously that's fucking stupid.
Possesses time manipulation with /time.
This is only really time manipulation in the sense that it changes the position of the sun, the moon, and the stars. The position of players and mobs do not revert back to where they were previously via this time manipulation. So if it doesn't really affect any entities, it's not really going to give them a win condition against anyone.
You could literally just do a quick command to create world-eating barriers. He has access to the secret Minecraft item known as the Knowledge Book, which allows you to know all the crafting recipes, can alter matter itself using the debug stick, or it could just destroy it all with the /build command.
Alright, cool, so he has barrier creation and matter manipulation, that's fine. Also, the /fill command isn't really going to allow him to destroy his opponents, it's just going to allow him to destroy the things they're standing on, which isn't that helpful, really.
Use a command block to instantly kill everything around him regardless of their ability.
Anyone immune to death hacks or who is faster than the Minecraft tick speed can negate this easily. And saying that this would work on anyone regardless of their ability would be a textbook no limits fallacy.
So what, Kratos could flip 9 realms? Steve could literally hold the entire multiverse.
If you know me, you're probably going to think it's weird that I'm about to defend Kratos, but here we are. The multiverse that Steve is able to hold up is just a collective of finite universes. When Kratos held up the 9 realms, he was holding up 9 infinite realms. Kratos also transcends time and space, meaning that he would have immeasurable speed, so he could blitz Steve infinite times before he could even move.
Doomslayer could resist getting shot with the BFG 10K, but that's still nothing compared to infinite durability.
Doomslayer was able to beat the creator of Hell, and Hell is unlimited by space, time, and dimensions within the normal universe, which would put him at 5th dimensional.
But Goku could teleport at the speed of light. Well, guess what? Steve goes 6 times the speed of light.
Okay, as I mentioned previously, teleportation does not equate to speed, but even if it did, Goku's teleportation would still be superior as he can teleport an infinite distance instantaneously.
Steve should be able to destroy anyone and everything in fiction besides entities like Toa and whatnot.
Here he contradicts Steve being able to solo fiction, which was part of the premise of his video, so I don't really understand why he said that. But anyways, Astral Regulator Thanos and all of the members of the Justice League, assuming we're using the comics version, beat up Steve really badly. For this video, I'm just going to be explaining why Batman beats him, but I'm sure we can all agree that all the members of the Justice League are relative to or above Batman anyways, so it doesn't matter. For speed, Batman is consistently able to dodge Superman's laser vision, which is stated to be made from photons and move at the speed of light. He also has other feats of dodging light beams, so yeah, that's just consistency for Batman having faster than light speeds. And he got Steve to only massively hypersonic, so obviously this means Batman is much faster. For attack potency, Batman has nth metal gauntlets, which can do significant damage to Barbatos, whose scream can shake the multiverse itself. So in conclusion, Batman's attack potency should be multiversal and his speed should be faster than light. And since his scaling only got Steve to massively hypersonic with universal attack potency, obviously Batman is going to win. But as for AR Thanos, even if you argue he's not canon, he still wins this. I personally don't think that AR Thanos is canon, but that's a debate for another day. Anyways, AR Thanos is stated to embody existence, which includes endless possibilities as stated in the scan. These endless possibilities should logically equate to an endless number of formations of the existence and universe, meaning that he embodies an infinite number of fourth dimensional universes, making him multiversal. And I'm not referring to multiverse in the same arbitrary way that he was. I'm referring to the collection of fourth dimensional universes. So no, Creative Mode Steve is not going to beat AR Thanos or any of the members of the Justice League. Yeah, so overall, Creative Steve is just universal with massively hypersonic speeds. He's not beating any of these people, really. But for now, that's the end of this video. Yeah, hope to see you again.